Hi, I know for many of us it is very important that we are able to kind of sustain the diet and even the lifestyle that we are living in our home country, also in the foreign country that we're going to. Right now I'm going to discuss about Germany because, like I always preach, like you should always be talking about the things that you have personally gone through. And Germany is a country I've been living in since the last more than 3 years now, and Alina and I have our fair share of experience with vegetarianism in Germany and also veganism if you're into that. So in this video I want to just sit down and like tell you 5 different places where you can like still kind of fulfill your vegetarian needs if you have. So if somebody tells you that hey, you're going to Germany, that means you will have to eat your non-vegetarian food, you will have to drink beer and something else, you can tell them that hey, it's not true, like there are other options available. Before I start, I'll tell you that, you know, in Germany there is tolerance for these kind of like different nutrition lifestyles that people are having, and this is the reason you will find a lot of different kind of options in different places. And I understand why it is like really important to kind of like maintain the kind of lifestyle you were like living in your own home countries, because sometimes food solves so many things. Maybe you're feeling depressed, maybe you're feeling anxious, you make the right food with the right ingredients and you'll be fine. And of course I'm not talking about the clinical depression, like where you like really are struggling with stuff, but rather, you know, this short-term prolonged sadness that you may say. And it happens quite a lot in Germany. So whenever like the winter starts, right now winter has started, it gets really horrible because the sun rises like, I don't know, somewhere around like 8. Yes, 7:45, 8, it will get even worse afterwards, and it's already dark at 4. For many people it is extremely hard to see this sudden shift, because in Germany in summers you have sun till the time of 11 at night, and then it rises up sometimes at 4 or 5. That time you have the darkness maybe just for 6 hours, and in winter it's the complete opposite. So if you maintain your schedule of food, you're eating properly, because many students also do this. They're like, they will just eat one meal, they skip the other 2, and then afterwards they will do something else, they will go outside. That can also affect sometimes, and of course like it really depends. Most of the students, they are completely fine with this, like they don't have to worry about like what they cook and what they have to eat and stuff. But of course like not everybody is the same. And it is possible that maybe you need to have this schedule, maybe you need to have this routine to be able to accomplish your goal, and that is completing your masters in Germany, finding a nice job or doing your own business, and then settling down, whatever you like. And here's the thing, if you have been paying attention in the kitchen to your mother, you're going to be super happy, because sometimes that exact kind of dish that you want to make, which maybe the German Indian restaurants or something cannot make, and maybe your mother uses some special spices and you want to eat exactly that, you will be able to do it only when you actually know how to cook it yourself. And all of the stuff you need, like most of it, I think maybe even 95% of it, you will find in the German supermarket. So like you have your rice, you have lentils, you have chole, chickpeas, you have kidney beans, you have all of these different kind of things which you can already get from the German supermarkets. The one thing that is a bit problematic is generally the atas. If you want to make rotis and stuff, then it is a bit difficult. So there they generally say like you have to mix like 2 kind of atas or something, I think 112, or there's some different type of atas, and I don't remember them because like we never used it. Like we tried, I think for 2-3 months we tried like different kind of combinations, and we were like, you know, thinking that maybe this works, maybe that works, but none of them was exactly how we wanted them to be, which is sad because German supermarkets are super close by and we just have to like maybe walk there for like 3 to 5 minutes, and we are there, we buy the stuff, we come back, and you know, we cook our stuff. The silver lining was that you at least have the other things that you can directly buy from the store, so that was like super important to remember. German supermarkets, you can get most of your stuff, and if you just eat rice, then you're in luck, like you don't need to go anywhere else. All you have to do is follow some nice channels, like you can follow Alina's channel, she cooks some vegetarian food and she puts up the recipes and stuff on her channel by Alina Chaudhary. If you're living in a hostel or some kind of shared apartment, you also have the opportunity of using the common kitchen. So for that, you know, there's not going to be a major problem. Some people don't want to cook their dishes in the pans or the pots where meat has been cooked, so then I would definitely suggest just buy your own one and it will be fine. Now the second place you can use to keep yourself vegetarian, which is going to be the Indian stores. Now I kind of have mixed feelings about this, because I've been following different kind of Facebook groups too. So like there's a Facebook group called Indians in Munich, and there I have seen a lot of Indians like writing really bad reviews about the Indian stores that they have, at least there. What happens is like they would import any kind of atta or like any other thing that you like, and they will put their own label on top of it. That isn't essentially the right thing, because when you peel off the label, many times you see that expiry date is already done. But I don't know how they do it. Some of them also try to complain to the German authorities, but essentially nothing really happened. So they just had to be rather more careful. You will also find some really good Indian stores even online, where you can, you know, buy your stuff and you can just do your grocery shopping and they comply with these kind of rules. But when you're buying from your local one, be very careful, because many times things can get fishy. There was this Indian store owner whom I met, I think, I don't know, maybe 2-3 years back. And then afterwards he was telling me once, when are you going to India next time? I was like, yeah, I don't know. And he was like, you know, you can take an extra suitcase, you can just get it for us and we'll just pay you some like 40-50 euros extra. And I'm like, well, I mean, anything that cannot be imported like properly or like cannot be sent by goods is anyways kind of fishy. And like he was talking about getting some like groceries or something, so that was nonsense. So be careful about it. I mean, there is some next level shadiness in these kind of, you know, Indian stores, but of course you also have some decent ones who are doing business completely ethically. So my advice is going to be 100% whenever you are going to any kind of Indian store, keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, and like double check things, and make sure that you cannot find the same thing in a normal German supermarket, which essentially have to comply to all of these tiny kind of details of expiry date and, you know, like where the stuff is coming from and all of the ingredients part. So that is super important. But other things like paneer, bhindi, I don't know, like some other kind of Indian stuff, you will only be able to find in the Indian supermarkets. It is reasonable in the sense that they're getting the stuff from somewhere else and you're still able to afford it on like maybe some extra price. But if you compare it to the normal German supermarket stuff, it is like definitely a lot more expensive. So if you cannot find anything in the German supermarket, then only I will choose the Indian supermarket. Paneer and other stuff, you know, most of the times we have bought from an Asian store near us, which is also having like Indian stuff. We never had any kind of bad experience there. But with the atta, there was once a problem. Like we bought a small pack and I don't know what it was, but it definitely did not look like atta. Third, fast food. So in Germany, whenever you're like just going out to eat something, and you know, many people are concerned, hey, is there going to be anything vegetarian? Most of the fast food corners have some kind of vegetarian options, be it KFC, McDonald's or Burger King. So if you have craving for some fast food every now and then, that is also completely possible. Like you can have your vegetarian stuff and it is not such a big problem. Now the fourth one, the mensa. So the mensa or the university canteen, there too you will find a lot of times vegetarian dishes. Like it's just a standard. I've rarely seen a mensa where like they don't have any kind of vegetarian option, because the German Studentenwerk also know that there is a growing majority of people who want to go vegetarian or want to go for veganism because of the higher carbon footprint of the non-vegetarian stuff, and this is the reason they have one vegetarian dish at least in every single mensa on every single day. So super important to understand. If you just want to like, you know, don't want to cook anything on your own, get cheap food and get the food which is made hygienically, then maybe your university mensa is not a bad option. I've seen students essentially eating like for 2 times within the mensa. So like in the morning they will eat some bread or something, on the lunch they will eat the vegetarian stuff, in the evening they will again eat the vegetarian stuff, and many a times some students also like kind of pack it and like take it home so that they can eat it afterwards. So this is also completely an option. Like of course you need to have your own tiffin and everything, you just put the thing inside and you can take it. It is not a problem at all, but of course you have to prepare it in advance. You have to get the tiffins and everything, pay at the counter, take your stuff inside, fill it in, put the dishes and everything where they're supposed to be, and you can then just go home, eat at, I don't know, 10, 11, whenever like we eat. Germans generally eat at 6, and this is the reason like mensas generally close earlier. They don't stay open till late night. Now the fifth and the final point where you can still kind of maintain your veganism or vegetarianism is going to be in the restaurant. So of course, like nobody has so much money that you go to the restaurant every single day, because it can like stack up really quickly. If you're eating a normal pizza here in Germany, and I've compared it to like different kind of cities, Munich, Berlin, Hamburg, I think on average pizza would be costing you around like 12 euros in a restaurant, and afterwards some drinks and stuff, 3 to 4 euros, so like 16 euros. That would be like your one-time meal, then an additional maybe 10% tip, 17.6 euros or like 18 euros. That's how you generally tip. right? So that is going to be your final order, maybe for one person, and that is when you're going in a medium restaurant. So that is the story, and this is the reason like so many people try to cook at home themselves. But if you have to go for any kind of like networking or social event or something to a restaurant, you will definitely find some kind of vegetarian option there. I'm not so sure about vegan, but of course you can tell them that maybe make it without the milk or maybe make it without the yogurt or something like that, and then they can give you the vegan version of it. Places that I would again like generally avoid are the Indian restaurants, and it sucks. Like it's really sad to say this, because like then you get this feeling, yeah, this guy is from India but like hates India so much. That is really not the case at all. The thing is, most of the Indian restaurants I've been to, they overcharge you and the service is bad. So like I took Alina and her two cousins to an Indian restaurant here in Hamburg, and I was like, alright, you know, this restaurant looks nice, let's go inside. And for the starters, I just ordered some pakoda so that they can see like, you know, how it tastes and everything. For 6 euros we got maybe 8 pieces of pakora, and like those were like really like thin sliced like potatoes and the brinjals and like all sorts of stuff that you like, I don't know, that you don't expect for 6 euros. So yeah, that's the story. I mean, I generally like do not recommend Indian stores. Every single time we've been to one, it has been not a great experience. Sometimes the owners are not friendly, and when they're friendly, the food is overpriced. So that is like what I feel about it. But of course there are some really good Indian restaurants too where you can go, but again, like I said, it has to be a lot of hit and trials for you to decide where exactly is the place where you can kind of depend on, because many a times when you want to just order something and you don't have any kind of energy to stand in the kitchen and cook something, then you really want to know the food that you've paid for is actually good in taste. So that is my take on it. If you really want to like try some like maybe even different vegetarian options, you can always go for Italian, or you can go for Turkish. Even like, you know, Turkish people, they have some really nice vegetarian stuff if you're into that. And just try a lot of different things. Because you're in Germany, you have like so many different opportunities and options in front of you, so like just go crazy and like, you know, go find out whatever you can and share it with others. So that was my compilation of 5 different places or ways you can stay vegetarian in Germany, and how Alina and we have stayed vegetarian. For us, of course, the most important part was just cooking at home. It's really cheap. Also, like at the times when you're cooking together, it's a very nice activity just to like stand in the kitchen, like talk about the day, and yeah, it's a nice experience. So if you are into cooking, I would highly advise, you know, just like take some cooking lessons from your mother, because sometimes you're going to crave for it, and that exact kind of food you're going to get, yeah, in a long time again. So yeah, that's everything. Thanks a lot for watching the video. If you want to enroll in my online course, the complete course for studying in Germany, for starting your application for public universities, you can definitely check out my course. A lot of students have availed all of the information which is given there, and the trainings and the preparation workshops that I do every second Sunday, and are actually studying in Germany now. And otherwise, if you just want to sit down and talk or like ask some questions that you have gathered, then you can just directly book an appointment. Both of the links you will find in the description. Thanks a lot for watching the video. I'll see you later. Bye.